Very happy to be here with our longtime friend, Charles Troy, you're in Chicago, right, Charles?
I'm in a town called Mundelein, named after the first
Oh,
Roman Catholic cardinal of Chicago, who was he built a very nice thing in this town. They renamed the town for him, Mundelein.
wow.
Yeah,
And you were connected to us by our friend, Jacqueline Parker.
I was.
And you've done a number of in-person presentations for us on various musical theater subjects over the past 4 years, I believe.
Yes.
And you did even one virtually last year, two virtually last year. We appreciate that you have things virtual to share with us, and particularly that you have 4 virtual presentations about Irving Berlin. What is so fascinating about him to you?
Well, first of all, he lived 101 years, so he deserves more than one. I couldn't have possibly condensed this into one 90-minute program. Just talking about how he came to this country, how he learned to play the piano, how he wrote Alexander's Ragtime Band, how he lost his first wife, how he then finally found the love of his life. That consumes 90 minutes right there. And that's the first one. Irving Berlin, the ultimate Jewish immigrant.
The whole series has a wonderful title.
From Russia to Berlin, a Century of Irving.
Love that. Love that. Then the second installment.
Yes, Irving Berlin Beats the Depression. And that one, if I may say something about the graphics, the graphic title for that is what I used a lot through that presentation. All those popular cartoony kind of things from the 1930s that were so popular about 20 years ago. So that's what the title slide is all about, and I've got a lot of that too. That one focuses on how he came out of his depression and did it by writing these 2 brilliant shows, Face the Music and As Thousands Cheer. And I play lots of songs from them, most of which I was not familiar with before, and just dazzled me. And I think they're a revelation to most people who know the great Irving Berlin songs, but may not know the depth of his brilliance. And this presentation shows that.
The fascinating thing is that he didn't speak English when he came here. He learned that, but he also never learned to read music. He was self-taught as a musician, and for him to become such a brilliant musician and lyricist with what could be major drawbacks starting out, it just says so much about him and his drive and his optimism and his approach to life.
I'd like to pick up on the lyric part of it. I find him very underrated as a lyricist. There's never a false rhyme. There's never an incorrect accent. There's total economy of expression. He never seems to invert lines to get his rhyme. He's amazingly skilled and accurate. I think he's one of the best. I really do.
I agree. And nothing pretentious in the least. Real, speaking in the vernacular in a way that makes everyone comfortable with the lyrics from the beginning, from the first time they hear them. It's like people talking to people, but it's set to music. So then your third show in the series, what is that?
That is Irving Berlin in Tinseltown, because after these 2 brilliant shows in the early 1930s in New York, he went out to California. He was hot, and so he could sign a kind of contract to do movies that he did not do successfully in the late 20s. And by the way, that's another thread in the second presentation, is how he started and flopped in the late 20s just after Talkies, and how he came back triumphantly in the third part of my presentation in the mid 30s and wrote the brilliant Top Hat, two other Astaire and Rogers movies, and then a couple of other movies, in particular, one I'm really enamored of, which is On the Avenue. And I suspect your show covers that well, but there were some songs on there that amazed me and that I was not familiar with.
Yeah, it does cover those and more. And there are a couple of songs that have never been heard before. Now on to the fourth show in your series.
Well, I titled it, and I like to think I'm good at titles, and I'm very pleased with this one. Irving Berlin Goes Out with a Bang. Duh, what could that refer to? Well, clearly, Annie, Get Your Gun. And the fact is that he had this amazing tour of the world with This Is the Army, which I end part 3 with. And then what happens is he comes back to New York and he's going to rest for a long while, but then something shocking happens. And I'll bet you know what that is. That is the sudden death of Jerome Kern just before he's going to start writing the score of Annie, Get Your Gun. And Irving Berlin is asked to come in. He has no interest in Annie Oakley. He barely even knows who she is. And look what this man does. I mean, it's astonishing. And that consumes about half of my presentation of the fourth one. Irving Berlin Goes Out with a Bang. But then I, of course, deal with Call Me Madam. And I deal with some of the other issues that challenged him toward the end of his career. But I ended on a positive note, and I won't tell you what that positive note is because that's something I'm also very proud of.
No, people will have to tune in to find that out.
Okay.
I just noticed the artfully arranged display of Irving Berlin books behind you. I can't imagine those are there all the time.
Oh, it's totally by accident. Yeah. No, I rearranged this bookshelf. I've been looking, as we all have, at people's libraries as they've been photographed during the pandemic. And I thought, I can do this, and I can do this really skillfully. So yes, I change up the books depending on what I'm talking about. So
great. It looks wonderful. You look wonderful. It's wonderful talking to you. And I look forward to sharing your 4 presentations.
I'm very eager for your audience to see my presentation starting this coming Monday.
Yes, it's upon us. All this time we've been talking about making them happen. Now it begins this coming Monday, November 22nd, Irving Berlin, The Ultimate Jewish Immigrant. November 29th, Monday also, Irving Berlin Beats the Depression. Monday, December 6th, Irving Berlin in Tinseltown. Monday, December 13th, the final show, Irving Berlin Goes Out with a Bang. Very exciting stuff. And we're so excited to have you even virtually on our stage.
I hope that I can get a chance to talk to people virtually rather than simply show this. And that is something that's very exciting to me. And I eagerly want to talk to York Theater devotees who are so knowledgeable about musical theater. I'd love to share some of the stuff that is not in the presentations.
Yes, you've said that from the beginning, that part of your joy of doing these is connecting to the audience, hearing from them, learning from them, and also passing off information that they may not know as well. So we believe we've figured out a way to do that after the virtual presentation, that you will be able to be on live with anyone who cares to stay on and chat.
Great.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Charles, very much. Great to see you and talk to you, and we'll see you when the series begins.
Thanks, Jim.